Have you ever stood on a beach and wondered where all that sand comes from? What if I told you a country was deliberately moving millions of tons of it? It sounds like something out of a wild adventure film, doesn't it? Along Israel's vibrant Mediterranean coastline, a region steeped in history, something unprecedented is unfolding. Beneath the waves, an engineering feat of staggering proportions is underway, a project that challenges the limits of what we thought possible. Massive, state-of-the-art dredgers are meticulously carving into the seabed. Day and night they excavate millions of cubic meters of sand, a symphony of heavy machinery and precision planning that is fundamentally altering the underwater landscape. This isn't the simple act of building sandcastles, they are literally moving mountains from the bottom of the sea, transporting colossal volumes of earth, with a purpose that goes far beyond simple construction. So the question is, why? Why embark on such a monumental and costly endeavor? What could justify this level of intervention with nature? The answer lies not in ambition, but in a pressing existential need. This is a mission for survival. A strategic plan to secure the nation's future against the forces of nature and the demands of a globalized economy. It's about reshaping their coastline to protect vital infrastructure and create new opportunities. It's a testament to human ingenuity and relentless determination. A story of engineers and scientists collaborating to solve a complex puzzle, a nation's unyielding will to innovate and build a resilient future. This isn't your average construction project, a colossal undertaking, a modern marvel of engineering that could alter trade routes that have existed for centuries. Imagine giant ships, steel beasts scooping up the ocean floor, one massive bucket at a time. The sheer power and scale are breathtaking. Man versus nature, but not a fight. A partnership, a dance between human ambition and the raw power of the sea. The reason behind this grand operation is even more fascinating than the process. A secret hidden in plain sight. A master plan to solve a problem that has plagued Israel since its beginning. A quest for something more valuable than gold. A direct link to the east, more than just digging. A calculated move in a global game of chess. Every grain of sand being moved is part of a larger strategy. This is about survival, ensuring a nation's prosperity for generations to come. To understand this epic sand-digging operation, you first need to look at a map. Find Israel. See how it's wedged in a tight spot? It's a small strip of land, a sliver of coastline on the eastern edge of the Mediterranean Sea. To its east, a wall of nations. To its west, the vast blue sea. For centuries, this geography has been both a blessing and a curse. It's a crossroads of civilizations. It's a bottleneck. The secret is out. Israel is laying the groundwork for what is being called the Gurion Canal. This is the big one. The vision is to carve a man-made waterway straight across Israel, connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Gulf of Aqaba, an arm of the Red Sea. If completed, it would create a brand new shipping lane between Europe and Asia, a direct competitor to the Suez Canal. Building a project on the scale of the Gurion Canal is a battle on multiple fronts. The engineering challenges alone are immense. You're not just digging through soft sand, you're cutting through solid rock, dredging, blasting, heavy earth moving, thousands of workers, mountains of equipment. Then there are the environmental considerations, which are enormous. Impact on Mediterranean marine ecosystems, damage to fragile Red Sea coral reefs. Mega projects like the proposed Gurion Canal are more than just monumental feats of construction. They are the arteries of global commerce. They represent humanity's ambition to overcome geographical barriers, fundamentally altering the map and in doing so changing the world. This is a story as old as civilization. Throughout history, great feats of engineering have brought people closer together. The Roman roads connected an entire empire, creating a network for the rapid movement of armies, goods, and ideas that shaped Western culture. Later, the Transcontinental Railroad unified a continent, and the Panama Canal carved a new path for global trade, each project redefining the world in its time. Today, a new, competing waterway could spark a similar revolution. By introducing competition to one of the world's most critical shipping choke points, it could drive down global shipping costs. For consumers, this translates into more affordable goods, but perhaps more importantly, it would introduce vital resilience into a fragile global supply chain, ensuring that a single point of failure can no longer bring international commerce to a standstill. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about security. Realizing such a vision requires an unprecedented global coalition, bringing together the world's foremost engineers, visionary investors, and cooperative governments from across continents. The very act of building together, of aligning diverse interests towards a shared constructive goal, becomes a powerful diplomatic tool. It forges economic and political bonds, creating a foundation of mutual trust and shared prosperity that can build diplomatic bridges lasting for generations. On the vast stage of global geopolitics, where giants cast long shadows, the story of Israel's great sand-digging adventure holds a powerful lesson. It's a lesson not just for its neighbors, but for small countries everywhere who feel constrained by their borders or resources. It's a declaration that geography does not have to be destiny. When you're a small nation, the fundamental realities are stark. You can't compete on the sheer scale of your population, the vastness of your territory, or the depth of your natural resources. The traditional metrics of power simply don't apply. So, you have to change the game. You have to compete on smarts. This isn't just about individual intelligence. It's about cultivating a national ecosystem of ingenuity. It means prioritizing education, funding research and development, and building a culture that sees challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for invention. You have to be agile, able to pivot and adapt faster than larger, more cumbersome states. You must be relentlessly innovative, constantly searching for the next breakthrough. And above all, you have to be bold, willing to take calculated, nation-defining risks that others might deem impossible. Look at Singapore. Cast adrift to independence in 1965, it was a tiny island city-state with no natural resources, a multi-ethnic population, and surrounded by uncertain neighbors. By all conventional logic, its future looked bleak. But Singapore's leaders made a pivotal choice, to make their primary resource the minds of their people. Through decades of meticulous, long-term planning, strategic investment in education, and an unwavering focus on creating a stable, corruption-free environment, they transformed their nation. They built the Port of Singapore into one of the busiest in the world, and Changi Airport into a global benchmark for excellence, turning their geographic position from a vulnerability into a critical node in global commerce. They became a financial hub, a testament to the power of brilliant, disciplined execution. Or consider the Netherlands, a country where for centuries the greatest existential threat came from the sea itself. A significant portion of their land is below sea level, a constant, pressing vulnerability. But instead of succumbing to this challenge, they turned it into their defining strength. Following the devastating North Sea flood of 1953, they embarked on the Delta Works, one of the most ambitious civil engineering projects in history, a breathtaking system of dams and storm surge barriers. This centuries-long battle with water forged an unparalleled expertise in water management. This mastery, combined with high-tech innovation in their greenhouses, has allowed a tiny, densely populated country to defy expectations and become the world's second-largest exporter of agricultural products. They literally created the land they thrive on. These nations didn't just play the hand they were dealt, they fundamentally rejected the idea that the hand was fixed. They reshuffled the deck. They looked at their greatest weaknesses and systematically turned them into world-class strengths. They harnessed the combined power of cutting-edge engineering, transformative technology, and a sheer unyielding force of will. This allowed them to not just overcome their physical limitations, but to redefine their place in the world, building prosperous, resilient, and globally connected economies that punch far above their weight. This is the very essence of the playbook Israel is now attempting to follow on a monumental scale. It's leveraging its most potent national asset, its renowned high-tech sector, the Silicon Wadi. This ecosystem, forged in the high-stakes environment of military research and development, has fostered a unique culture of rapid, mission-oriented problem-solving. Now Israel is aiming that same ingenuity and engineering prowess not at a cyber threat or a software challenge, but at a fundamental geographic problem that has constrained it since its founding. The Gurion Canal project is the ultimate physical manifestation of this mindset. It is, in effect, the nation's largest and most ambitious startup. It's a high-tech, multi-billion-dollar, audacious solution to an age-old geopolitical and economic challenge. It applies the logic of disruption not to an industry but to the very landscape of the Middle East. It's a national statement of intent, a way of saying, if the mountain of geography stands in our way, we will not go around it, we will find a way to move it. Or in this case, engineer a new waterway right through it. This kind of bold, strategic thinking is what allows small nations to transcend their limitations. It's how they move from a mindset of mere survival to one of leadership and influence on the world stage. These grand projects become woven into the fabric of their national identity. So the next time you see a massive construction project, whether it's a bridge, a dam, or a new port, remember that it's more than just concrete, steel, dirt, and machines. It's a powerful symbol of human ambition, a physical monument to our refusal to accept the status quo. More than that, it is a tangible manifestation of a nation's collective will to take control and actively shape its own destiny for generations to come. The massive sand-digging operation we see today in the Mediterranean is therefore not just an isolated industrial activity. It is the first tangible chapter of a much larger, more audacious story. It is the story of how a small nation, defined by its history and its geography, is dreaming bigger than its borders. This endeavor serves as a powerful modern-day reminder that with a sufficient dose of courage, a deep well of ingenuity, and the sheer grit to see a monumental task through, even the smallest player on the board can make a move that changes the entire game, forging new, stronger, and more resilient connections to the wider world. In an era of unprecedented change, this is more than just an economic strategy. It's a survival strategy for the 21st century, proving that the most valuable territory a nation can possess is the imagination of its people.